want to start with a question this morning. How many of you are happy? Okay. How many of you can actually define happiness as to what makes you happy? Well, Mary, you live in a loony world. Nobody knows that. You know, there's an old country song that said, many old friends have told me money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat and a truck to pull it. A Yeti 110 ice down with some silver bullets. That'd make any country boy proud. I was watching last night, I mentioned this in Sunday school. I was watching that movie, I don't know if any of you have seen it, called Saving Mr. Banks. You ever see that movie? It's a wonderful movie if you haven't seen it. Powerful statement. Anyway, the man is a banker, and henceforth Mr. Banks. And he's trying to teach his little girl all about life and that stuff. And they're sitting on the side of a river after he just got in a whole bunch of trouble. He's been thrown out of like 2 or 3 different banks. And they're sitting here, and he got thrown out again. And he's sitting on the side of the river with his little girl, and he's just looking out into the water. And he whispers a lot of prophetic stuff to his daughter. And he says to her, you know, this world will never make you happy. I sit in an office every day surrounded by money, and I'm not happy. The money's not happy. And the people that own that money, they're not happy. You have to look elsewhere to find happiness. You have to look elsewhere. And I thought about that, and I went, wow, saying that to a little girl, how can a little girl understand that? And I thought about today's sermon, and I thought, how can men and women even understand that? The people were downtrodden in the day of Jesus. The Romans were oppressing them. They had nothing, barely enough food to survive. Anything they had of value, the Romans took. And they gathered by the thousands around Jesus as he stood on the side of the Sea of Galilee. And he looked out over them, and they were poor, and they were hungry, and they were sick, and they were wretched, and they were clothed shabbily. And he looked out over them, and he began his famous Sermon on the Mount with, blessed are you who are poor. Well, everybody there could have understood that. But what they didn't understand is, how are we blessed? Blessed are you. That word makarios, that we translate as blessed, really should be translated as happy. Think about it. Instead of blessed are you, happy are you who are poor. For soon you shall be filled. Blessed are you who are downtrodden and reviled and beat up by every manner of person. Because the day is coming where you will laugh. Blessed are you. Or happy are you. Happy are you. Jesus turned the whole world upside down in a single word. Well, as beautiful as that message is, I don't think those people in that day understood it any more than we are. That would be like me saying to you, blessed are you that you've lost your job and have no other opportunities. Happy are you whose husband ran away and left you with 19 children. Happy are you. And you look at me and say, Tom, you're insane. Maybe so. Today we're going to talk about defining happiness. How many of you are happy? Do you know why? We're going to talk about that in just a minute. First, has Jesus